Alright, howdy. Decided since this is gonna be a short stream, I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and just do a stream partially because I was recording this already, but I have the time to do it right now, so I figured why not. Not really gonna be doing all that much like suggestions or anything. I'm just gonna experiment on this little house that I'm making. I have an idea for a cartoon that I pitched to a studio, but I decided that I want to make it on my own since they rejected me. Well, I guess I hardly had a decision in that, but you know how it is. So I'm trying to make this house look somewhat futuristic. I think I should have this go out to here too. Alright, so what I plan on doing is basically making that kind of like a neon sign type of thing. Alright, but anyways, that should go in a different direction slightly, but let's see. Like maybe like that? I don't know. Alright, we're just gonna leave it like that. But yeah, not too much is gonna be said in this stream. I'm just basically gonna concentrate on making this. And then I'll make like a secondary house if I have the time. And so basically I had like all of these house ideas in mind and I don't know which one I should do. So I have in mind like all kinds of stuff like Fruitiger Aero, stuff like that. So I was thinking about making something that has that idea. You know, I thought this was gonna like I thought I was gonna have a different tin here, but it does not look even to this. Like if I drew a line from here to here, actually it's more even than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, not quite. So that's the middle right there. This is the middle here. I prefer it to be kind of precise. Shoot. This isn't gonna be the door I have there. I just need to make sure that the door is around that size, because that's the size of the average door, which is around like a little over 6 feet, or just around 6 feet. Alright, so that works like that. Yeah, this is some nice relaxing music. In fact, I probably did not even have to hook up my microphone. Just sit here, stream this, while staying completely silent. Sounds nice. Right, well anyways. So what I think I'll have here is kind of like in this universe. It's a separate universe from our own. So like in this universe... Wait, I like that song. Wait a minute. This design like had to have been somewhere else. I just refuse to believe it hasn't been. Alright, so got that. About lines up right there. So it's more or less the same now. Alright, so I think that's about good there. Since it's the middle piece, I can probably afford to have it a little bit higher than the rest of them. Alright, so that's good there. Alright, so I think I'm gonna do the texturing now. So let's see. I was thinking about like making it a metallic looking color. Let's see, I think that looks good. Let's see. Windows here, windows there. Let's just add this. This would be like the house number and stuff. So let's see. I could just add this, like a name or something. Could have the address, like, let's go with this, because why not? Let's go with 84. Let's go 116. Just because. Sup, Valatic? Welcome to the stream. Street address numbers are usually white, so let's go with that. At least in my area. It's also 3 to 4 numbers, so we're gonna go with that for now. Alright, now let's go to a different part and do the picture. Ow, my neck. Alright, well, that should be fine. I'll do textures for both of them and see how good they are. Let's duplicate this. Alright, there we go. Alright, that's good. But yeah, this is basically a chill stream. It's not gonna be too much talking or all that. I don't mind speaking though. Alright, so let's see. So let's go with a texture that's kind of like this. We go like so. Let's go down to trees and do this. I want to see if I can make it like an even line. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So I realize silicon companies are taking Soviet dream control and rule. Okay. I'm glad I found like the shift key with this because it's much more helpful, like having like a even line, and I could just specify it whichever. Alright, so from what I can gather with that sentence, it sounded like you're saying some company found a way to control dreams. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, so let's go ahead and add that. So, and then we could do this here. And let's just have one line go here. Just that should be good. Alright, so let's see. Let's also... Should I want to do like a slight line there, but that wouldn't make much sense. Alright, let's go and move it to about here, and that should be good. Yeah, that works, and then I could just have one more line up here. Yeah, that's a vaguely interesting texture. It's weird. Kind of like it. I feel like you could probably use more. Forget what kind of line this is. Like, it's not diagonal, but I don't think it's quite horizontal either. And let me do this because it had a slightly different line. Alright, there we go. So we're gonna do... So I have Outer Wilds music in the background. Always complained a lot. If only YouTube is better. Yeah. YouTube can be quite annoying sometimes. Let me go ahead and get this, because I didn't realize I had it over right there, right here. Right, so let's do that. Yeah, like with these AI nonsense they keep pushing, I keep on telling it I don't want to see this content. I explicitly said it's because of the AI, and they still recommend it to me all the time. And then there's the dislike button removal, which is basically adding more likelihood for something to be not good. Let me see here. I just realized there could be a discrepancy right there. I'm gonna see how that looks first, and then I'm gonna retexture if anything. Alright, so let's go ahead and fill this in right here. And everything seems to be in order. Alright, so let's get that. Alright, so that no mirroring. Okay, so the one that's different is barely noticeable, so that's good. Alright, so I think that looks interesting. I could probably make one that's made out of wood or something. Goodness gracious, I just realized I made this tin at an angle. Alright. I'm gonna see about like if I can just get away with copying the texture to a new spot over here and then just paste. Right, there we go. And then let's see, it's at an angle somewhat like that, so let's go ahead and do this. Right, and then just simply do that. It's not going to be as good, but let's see. Is that about the right angle? Just a teeny bit more to here. That's good. Alright, so let's copy that and see if I can get away with doing that there. Alright, so we're gonna do... I forgot I have to do that texture over there now. Well, that's fine. I'm not gonna repeat it, so we're gonna do it this way. Oh my, that is unfortunate. Right, so let's try with that. Nope. This, nope. No. Alright. Well, looks like we're gonna try that. Looks futuristic. Yeah, the lines are inconsistent. Yeah, definitely with this one. I mean, yikes. Alright, so let's cancel that, and I guess I can do those ones manually. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, let's just copy this. Maybe I can see like how it would look with a brick texture. That could be easier to do. Alright, so let's actually do this. And this, because I meant to have it look kind of like this. Then just make it be like slightly bigger since this is in the foreground. Just ever so slightly. And that should be good. Alright, there we go. Animator can do stuff like this better. No, when it comes to animators, we usually just animate stuff like in the professional field. You see, animators, these days, they don't really make the backgrounds. They just make the specific character design and all kinds of stuff like that. But they don't make the heck? Oh, I just forgot to deselect it. But yeah, they don't make the specific background, so it's completely different from the way we would usually do things. Actually, I have a different idea for that, so let's keep that like that, and then make this bottom one a little bit darker. So yeah, when it comes to animators, what they would do is they would just do stuff to make the character move, all kinds of stuff like that. Make sure everything looks nice and fluid. They have different people that makes the background, different people that even comes up with the design concepts, different people that like storyboards like the entire animation. So no, an animator wouldn't do this better. They should still be able to do this, but they wouldn't quite do it better just because they're an animator. But animators are like amazing. Alright, so let me go ahead and do this right here. And let's see, let me just see how big this line is in comparison. Alright, so about the same. So let's do that. And boom. So we're gonna go and do that to about this angle. Made it an uneven angle, but that's fine. So we're gonna do that to about here. This to about here. Looks like I am gonna have to redo that window. Oh, let's go ahead and just do that now. First things first, let's at least do the other outline for over there. So that should be fine. There we go. That's where it looks like I'm seeing through some of the texture. So I may have to like alter it a little bit. So first things first, let's copy the color there. Go to about here. Get as close to it as possible. And I cut into the line. Ought to be even more precise. I could in theory simply select the black line. And that should get me the results that I want. But I can't be bothered to do all of that right now. So we're gonna do the F. Oh, I see now. Alright, so now it looks like it runs along the lines of this. Let me just undo that and then go back to this. So yeah, it runs along the lines. So that should be good. And there we go. Change myself to get details right. Yeah. That's good for you, Valactic. So anyways, we got this right here. And let's move this to about here. And I'm gonna see if that was close, and it was. So we're gonna do that. It'd be pretty neat if the window had this like around right here. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. So let's just make sure that that's about there, here, and here. Does it look nice? Yeah, I think my stuff looks pretty good. Alright, so we got this right here. And then let's make sure it's connected at the rooftop. And boom. And so I just did some random lines here. So I'm gonna just have it be a straight line for right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and just do, I think I'm gonna do the same colored lines here. In fact, I was gonna put like some blue outlines to make it look kind of holographic in a way, from lack of a better term. Like, not holographic, I mean, well, yeah, kind of, but it's just have those blue lines and stuff. I think those are kind of interesting. Alright, so that's fine like that. Let's make sure the lines line up here. Alright, so that's accurate to there. Let's see if it's accurate to here. Oh, wow. Actually lined up. Pretty good. Alright, so undo. How do we go? The cuboid building. Yeah, in a way. Yeah, this, so it's gonna be set in like an alternate universe. But yeah, I don't know why I'm putting this much effort into the detail, because I plan on covering it all with a bunch of dirt and mold and cracks and stuff. But I think this futuristicness of it could be kind of interesting. Like, for when it comes to it being covered in like reclaimed nature and stuff. That could be neat. That's all. I'm gonna go ahead and put this here. That should be good. Yeah, but this one's not gonna be a very long stream. I'm not gonna make it even on the lines there either. There were 5. I'm thinking 3, maybe 4 here. I decided on doing 5 again. Right. Alright. So let me see. I'm feeling a little bit lazy, so I think I might alter the texture a bit. And so let me just add some lineage here. There was no rhyme or reason to the original lines, so I'm just gonna do whatever feels right. Since I'm doing this part manually. Alright, so just picking random spots. Alternate universe, huh? I've always loved that. Yeah. I remember watching all of this old show called Sliders. Like, that show was my jam back in the day. I never saw it when it came out, but I did see it when it was on a channel known as The Hub. The channel doesn't exist anymore, sadly, but it had so many good old shows and scientific shows, and it was just a delight. So I think I'll leave that one to be like the one that's completely straight all the way down. Alright, so. But yeah, in that show, Sliders, there were these guys, 4 people. Let's see, Wembrandt, the Professor, Quinn, and Wade. They they go through and slide like sideways through time, so they call it, and they enter all of these fascinating new worlds, and they get to like see and explore like how things change and how they differ from our reality. And this was back in 2000, where not everything was like computers and all that, so they actually explored everything, and we got to see like more of what they had to offer. So that's pretty neat in my opinion. Oh, my throat. Right, so oh, what the heck? I thought that was the line tool. But yeah, as per usual, when it comes to these types of shows, the first season was the best and it progressively got worse, but like, I don't think they have anything on TV that was better than the first two seasons of Sliders. Like, and that's saying a lot, if I do say so myself, because you know how TV is nowadays. You can find just about anything you want, and that had the best stuff. This is also coming from a guy that's seen Jericho. If you've seen that show, you would know. You would just know. Oh shit, my favorite show was Cyber Chase and Art Attack. I've never seen Art Attack, but Cyber Chase was a pretty good show. I recently found like a bunch of episodes and I'm watching through some of it. And yeah, it was a real good show. Taught like all kinds of maths. It's good for like me at least. And I think a lot of people would like it too. To like rewatch some of those older educational shows, because it's good to like brush up on some of it. Because you get to forget more and more of it as you get older. But there you would get to like remember, just learn a little bit more. And I think that's pretty useful. Right, so Jericho, I never watched it. Yeah, well, if you ever have the opportunity to check it out, I highly suggest that you do. It's a post-apocalyptic show, except it's not really apocalyptic. It has like all of these government conspiracies, all kinds of other stuff. But yeah, it was a wild show. All right, so let me see here. All right, let's do this. So let's do that, and then actually no, yes, let's do that there, and that here. Okay. I actually think I'm going to make like yet another 10 here. And so I'm just gonna have this. I'm not gonna bother getting the line tool out for this one. I'm just gonna do that. Alright, excellent. There we go. Alright, so that's looking good. I think I'm gonna copy the first half and then the next half. That look is nice, but it doesn't give stuff we're looking for or loving to see. It does give that for me, but I usually know like what I want for the most part. If a show seems interesting, I usually give it a try. And if I don't like it, I just stop it and then hit the I think it's a dislike button. Let me see. It's a little bit uneven, but it will do. Alright, so let me get this here, because I don't feel like doing that line 10 again on the other side. Alright, so I'm gonna go with that here. And I think that's about right. Alright, somehow like copying and pasting one side made it look a little bit more symmetrical. I mean, that came out wrong, but it looks different in a way. Well, anyways, that's good there. So let's start doing the windows. I wasn't planning on making this part neon, but I think it could work out. So we're gonna look at that. Anyways, let's go ahead and just do that here, here, and here. So I'll finish this house on stream. Maybe I can look into doing the other. Flix has graphical restrictions, so you can't even watch the show you remember you want to or want to. Yeah, it is like that with like all the streaming services. It is unfortunate. But hey, it is what it is. Should still be able to like purchase the shows and like have them on DVD. There's always piracy, but I don't think the ramifications for that are very good. But there's an option. You know, that was a really dumb design I had right there. Why did I have that there when I could have had the sign right here? Oh well. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Just cause. Alright, so we got that here. Even removed some movies like it's an expired food. Yeah, they do that like way too often. And personally, I really dislike when it happens. Because you pay like a lot of money just to watch them shows, and then they don't even have it. Completely ridiculous. I forgot to have the outlines right over here too, so let's fix that now. I won't make it too big. That's so that works. Yeah, that's right. Alright. Okay. Alright, so here we are here. Alright, so let's add some of the neon to it. Actually, let's add the windows first. I was gonna add like a whole background so I can see how it looks a little bit more accurately, but And so we have this here. Those look like fine window colors. And so let's do this, this, and that. Since it's gonna be like some kind of light coming from the inside, I actually should make it yellow, but So we're gonna do that. Let's color in here. And then we will be officially done with the windows for the most part. I was thinking about like adding like a little white outline in between these creases right here, but I'm just not gonna do all that because can't be bothered. So we're gonna put that here, put this here. Nice little glass roof for it. I will add the outlines here. So let's do that just like so. So just a little bit of white here. Right. And then let's just add these little signs here to show that, hey, it's glass. A little too far. Here we go. What's up, Ape Green? Welcome to the stream. How are you? I'm doing fine. How are you? Alright, so right now I'm doing this like kind of a chill stream. It's doing too much talking. Just like enjoying the process of making it. Just sitting here and watching with some nice music in the background. So we got this and that. Doesn't really seem necessary right there. But that worked. And that worked. Alright, so let's do that. And one line here and one line here. Oh, that's good to hear, Ape Green. Are you really it's a grit reference. You are really okay. I haven't really seen the newest Grinch movie. I only seen like the animated special, and I vaguely remember the Jim Carrey version. So I'm not gonna really recall that too much, but let's see. In fact, that sounds more like a quote from Wreck-It Ralph, where the girl character is mad at Ralph for smashing up her what do they call it? I think a go-kart, but I don't know. Alright, so what these neon signs are for in the future is these lights are basically to tell like who's in the home and whatnot. So like for example, if like someone's in danger, these lights will just start flashing red. If someone excuse me. Wreck-It Ralph? Yeah, it's just old. Well, it's old now, but it's pretty good. It's this cartoon where about these video game characters who are self-aware. They know they're in a video game and they basically start living their life. And then it's about this guy who's basically he's the villain of his game. Think like Bowser from Super Mario Brothers or some other villain character. That's who this main character is. His name is Ralph. But he's not really a bad guy. He's always striving for something more, to do something better. And so like everyone in the whole game hates him. And this is like a 30-year-old game, so they hated him for decades. And like he just feels horrible about it. So he goes to like exclude him from everything. So he goes and tries to win a medal to prove that he can do something good. And because heroes, they always have medals with them. So he goes to a different game because in this universe, like games, they can just go to other games. This is all set in an arcade. I still remember like it's yesterday movie. Yeah. Yeah, so in that game, they basically... Oh, I like how this looks. That door looks so darn out of place, though. Alright. Let's make a new door. Alright, but anyways. Where was I? Yeah, Ralph, he... Alright, so let's actually have this here. I like the original Wreck-It Ralph better. Yeah, it's way better than the second one, which is Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. They called it Wrecks the Internet, but I think the name of the movie was a reference to when one of those Kardashians, they're behind, broke the internet somehow. I don't know how a butt broke the internet, but it was a 10 back in the day. If I remember correctly, the reference was already quite outdated by the time the movie came out, but to each their own. That whole movie was full of outdated references, but still, it was still a pretty good movie, but the original was superior. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring the door down. Just gotta make something that's about the same size as right there. So I'm gonna make it in layer 2, then I can fuse it with the former layer. Alright, so we're gonna go back up to trees for this one. Right, so we got that, got this. That's about good. And I'm thinking, like, since this is a futuristic home, let's have it have like a ridiculous way to open the door, which is instead of it using a doorknob, it's just an automatic sliding door for your homes. It detects if you're there and opens for you, and you have to press a button to lock it. I could see something that ridiculous happening. Right. Which was a movie that is a love letter to the internet from the 2000s. That's the main character going through a hard day in the 2020s. That actually is Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, because most of it is humor and memes and all kinds of stuff that are from the early 2000s. So if you haven't seen it, you should check that movie out. Alright, so you got that. Actually, I can probably just do a rectangle. I have the outline, so now I can undo the door for right now. And is that around the same side? Yeah, that would have been a disaster. Alright, let's just delete. Not quite. No, we're not gonna do that quite yet. Alright, so that should be fine right here. Alright. Now let's do a line underneath, because I forgot this wasn't part of the house. Alright. But yeah, you would definitely like that movie if that's what you're looking for. Alright, so let's see. Let's see. Would that work right there? Nah. Alright. This is an interesting little door design. Alright, so like this one kind of has like a oppressive vibe going on to it. And I kind of dig it. They wouldn't really go through this much trouble for oppression, but it is a cartoon that I'm working on. So it's fine. We're gonna go with a nice hexagon for a door. Actually, yeah, hexagon is about accurate. I was gonna say it's not a hexagon. There's another word for it. I wanted to say pentagon, but I think that's the one with 5 sides, but I can't remember for certain. I haven't heard like a shape uttered out loud in many, many years. Alright, so we got this here, that there. Alright, so the glass door makes sense. It would, but we're not doing that. We're gonna make our own door. And so let's have a line right down the middle. Why is it up to 13? Let's go to tree. Excuse me. Sup, Dumpling? Welcome to the stream. I've already seen automatic sliding doors on my 8-year-old dream, so imagine the door stuck or broken when lights out, power out. A hexagon is 6-sided, pentagon is 5-sided. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I wasn't sure about the pentagon, but I do know that a hexagon is 6-sided. Alright, so that's good having confirmation. And so let's see, let's get the let's have it go kind of like so. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Dumpling. How are you doing? So let's go ahead and put this here in excellent. And let's do this. Because it's gonna like slide. The windows are right there. That'd be funny. Like the door needs to block the window in order to open. That'd be hilarious. Doing all of this and the doors, they are barely going to function. Ah, shoot. Alright. Actually, I don't want it to be glass, so what am I doing? I'm gonna have the door be a nice deep blue. Like at least on these parts. And then the part next to it, we're just gonna have that be gray. Just a nice little door, and they're gonna need to have their sensors out. It should automatically open when it's next to them. Doing good. That's good to hear. So, with these doors, they're gonna need like a key card to get in. And if the power goes out, they're either trapped inside or trapped outside, because this is a futuristic society and it's automatically mediocre. Let me see how this would look. Go back down to there. Alright, so let's cut that. Cut that and see how this would look like that. But yeah. This is going to be part of the first episode of some animation that's like 20 minutes or so that I plan on making. And yeah. Probably a dumb idea. See, that's the whole reason why I pitched it in the first place. I would usually make it on my own, but it's a whole 20-minute series, so I would need help. But I'm gonna try at least episode 1 on my own. That's fine. Want to live in real life or the Star Trek worlds? Real life, because with Star Trek, it does seem interesting, and I do want the future to be that way. However, their teleportation technology, that's basically killing you and replacing you with an exact copy, and no one would know the difference. So imagine you actually dying and just spending like an afterlife not existing or whatever, all while no one is even grieving and everyone's living it up because someone else is pretending to be you. They don't even know it. They actually think that they are you. So I think that would be set in scenario. Other than that, Star Trek, from what I can gather, they had, instead of having technology do everything for them like in WALL-E, they had technology actually assist them. So that's a more ideal world to do. They actually had jobs that they loved. They were able to go and explore the whole stars, so it is wonderful, but I prefer the insanity that I know rather than the insanity of the unknown, like in Star Trek. But that's just me. Alright, so sounds bad. Yeah, it does. Energy can become mass, but not opposite. Yeah. Alright, so let's actually add a slight glow to these. So let's make this a little bit of a white color, lower the opacity ever so slightly, and see how that would look. So let's go to about 30 should be fine. Yeah, that worked. And I can actually put it on the door layer, so futuristic door. Alright. No, yeah, no, yeah, no. Okay. New layer for this one, neon. Alright. But yeah, it's basically an exact copy. And I know that that would never come to be. And the technology that's in Star Trek, well, that would be horrible if the humans of today have it. So I would never trust it. That society just it's a utopia, but you know what they say about utopias? It's only a utopia if you're part of the majority. If not, well, that's a dystopia. This is a bit too jagged. Want like a nice clean swoop. So we're gonna go with 50. Yeah, that should do it. I could just use the line tool. I mean, that's an option. Alright, let's see how that would look there. Then I could just block the extra parts. Alright, so let's decrease that to about 45. And Star Trek is our humanity's front door. Yeah, like if all of the science fiction I've seen, even though I feel like Star Trek is the most ideal one, even though personally I wouldn't enjoy it, it would be the best for humanity as a whole. Alright, so we got that there. Alright, so let's move that to about here. Just to about there. The overlap should be fine. This is going to add like a pretty neat glow effect once I'm done with it. Alright, so we're going to decrease that to about 30 now. Yeah, I got just about everything there. I could use the same glow. But yeah, with these neon lights, they glow different colors. And these folks, they still get stuck with the electricity bill. So it's a win-win. These are mandatory on houses, and you need them. So that's that. That reminds me of a story I heard about some car. They were charging for like a safety feature that makes the world safe for other cars, like charging monthly for it. And I find that to be completely ridiculous. About time travel. How about mental time traveling? It's about relive memory. Yeah, we do that now. And just think about it and you already do that. I wouldn't really consider that time traveling though, since you're just like thinking about a memory. Alright, so we got this, and that should be good. Then I'm gonna make a tiny sliver for up here. So we're gonna just make that to 10. And right here should be good. Let's see, do I have all of the yellow covered? I do. Let's make sure it's covered nice and proper. And so something like that should be good. Don't want too many rough corners. It's fine for some small overlap. So that's fine. Let's do this here. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so let's do one here. One there. Erase that. Erase that. Don't want it to curve that much. Mental time travel isn't just a memory. It can be useful for what happens to the victim or what ancient life was. Ancient life? I don't see how it could help with ancient life. But what it sounds like you're talking about is like recalling memories where other people can see what's inside the brain. Now that is some horrible technology, because sure, it can be used for victims, but it also can be used to like spy on so many people. Think about the advertisements. They peek into what's in your mind, and then all of a sudden they know it, and automatically, and you just know they're gonna automatically force you to buy it or something like that. Even if you know you want it, some of us can't afford it, and then it just automatically charges you. So I know they would pull some kind of BS like that. Not to mention, now the fact that people can review thoughts, that's gonna basically make thought crimes. I can say, oh, you thought about like running over that person. Even though you didn't do it, you think about it, and all of a sudden it's 10 years in jail. You just know that they're gonna pull some kind of bullshit like that. And then there's gonna be all kinds of crazy couples that are like, oh, you had a dream about that other person, that other guy or other girl? And it's almost like you're cheating on me. When it's a dream, and sometimes you can't even control dreams. Like, it's just more trouble than it's worth. The victims, they'll just die on their own. Alright, so genetic memory, Assassin's Creed has that. So you can't lie in that scenario. To me, I know there's all kinds of genetic sequencing and all that, but from what I heard about it, there seems to be like I doubt it would be able to track like all of history. It would just be able to track what happened until contraception. So like let's say for example, like Jimmy Kimmel just decided to pop out a kid right now. So all of that kid's genetic information, thousands of years along the line, will then have like information from Jimmy Kimmel, for example. But what it doesn't know is, like, after Jimmy Kimmel had that kid, he went into debt and became this massive drug lord and started selling all kinds of like meth and stuff. So like the genetic information will then have no idea about any of that other stuff, which makes it still kind of borderline useless. So people would have to have every single possible accomplishment before they even have kids. So I think that's like just one of the drawbacks of it. Oh yeah, now that's looking good. But that's not like the only drawback, because there's all kinds of like mutations that can alter DNA. So let me see. Does this look fine? I'm trying to make sure there's no outlines. But yeah, it does sound like interesting on paper, but it would be like misused and not work completely as intended. Kind of like AI itself. Alright, so that's a good like genetic looking thing. So like what I was planning on having was like little blue lines to go along with it. Like let me just make a new one on example. Yeah, so that's just an example of that. I don't think it would work out very well, but hey, who knows? So let's see. So I'm thinking like just along the lines of here, it would be kind of like that. Just repeat blur effects, and well, that didn't work. Alright, so now we know that was a dumb idea there. Alright, so got this. Got the neon to make everything look good and glowy. Great, thank you. I'm glad you like it, Ape Green. I truly appreciate that. Alright, so these characters are the ones that would live in that house. These are children, so the door needs to be big enough to fit an adult. So I think that would be good. Alright, so let me just quickly hit that save. Alright, so I'll probably put it to vote in a video, because the community tab, whenever I post the votes, I only get like 3 or 4 votes and it never really works out. So, excuse me, I'm gonna have that show up there too. You want prehistoric animals roaming today like Jurassic Park, but with Cenozoic species. Let's see, Cenozoic. If I remember correctly, that's with that's like the Ice Age type stuff, like saber cats and mammoths and all that. Personally, if something has been extinct for a long time, we shouldn't bring them back, but it does sound like a much better scenario than robots being everywhere, so I guess that could work. I would definitely eat a mammoth. Alright, so that's good like that. Alright, so let's see. So that's good like that. I basically finished this actually. So just 1 second, I'm gonna restart the stream. Okay, and I am back. I just needed to restart it quickly. So we're back now. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually see. That's fine like that. I'm gonna actually move everything up. So yeah, that's gonna be back there. Then I'm gonna just move the door to about right here. And I'm gonna start like a whole different one. The building reminds me of Roblox. That's unfortunate. But that is good. This is gonna be for a cartoon that I'm making, and it reminding the audience of something is actually a good thing. So probably for the best. I still have the building, by the way, and just hiding it at the moment. Man, that is beautiful. Right, so I have an idea for a different kind of building. It should like follow the style of Frutiger era. So it's gonna be like a different wild design. So actually, let's just remove the door for now. Actually, let's keep it. Alright, so I'm gonna go to 4s. So we're gonna have a circle kind of like this. Actually, no, that wouldn't work out very well. Alright, let's undo that for now. Let's get some curves up in here. Alright, so let's get that. Do something kind of like this. Should be like the first floor of the house, and then we could do something else. I think that building looks great. Thank you. Roblox has that futuristic look in the games I play. Alright. I remember a long time ago when I used to play Roblox, it gave me a virus. Since then, I never played again. Alright, so I'm trying to like look at the aesthetic. I don't have it pulled up here, so I'm trying to rely on the Frutiger era aesthetic from memory. So we have this. Oh, my throat is hurting me. Goodness gracious. And so I'm trying to make the top of the house look kind of like a bubble, because a lot of it had all of these spherical stuff in it. And I think that could be interesting. What virus? Roblox gives you virus? Like what? Yeah, like I played Roblox back in the day and it basically destroyed my entire computer. So like as soon as I clicked on like something on Roblox, and then all of a sudden it just, the whole screen went blank. Couldn't retrieve anything. So I had to get a new one. So I never touched that tin again with a 10-foot pole. So that's that. Other folks may enjoy themselves some Roblox, but that is just not for me. And so, what Roblox games is that? No games here. It actually happened. I can't remember what game it was. This was like a decade ago or so. Alright, so let's see. I'm not really liking this aesthetic. Like the top corners just looks way better to me. Alright, so let's see. And so, like what I'm thinking of is like with Fruitiger Arrow, think like the planets, all kinds of other stuff. Like planets, trees, nature, all of that. So like it's just like all of this greenery and clouds and stuff. So I don't know I'm gonna have to build and be blue, kind of green, stuff like that. But maybe I can have like a reflective surface on it. Right, but anyways, that's fine. Right, so we have this. Let's actually do like circular windows once more. So let's go 2 circles. It's just gonna be basically circles throughout this whole 10 here. Right. I'm still not sure how to make a circular corner. Let's say like that would be like the first corner. Way back here would be the other part of the house. Yeah, not too sure how to do that quite yet. But let's see. Could make it like darker, but I think the square should be just fine. So we're gonna do that. Oh, I was gonna make it glass on top. Goodness gracious. This is gonna be part of a cartoon. So if I make it glass on top, I have to draw all the furniture, all of that on the inside. No siree, we're not doing that. It is not going to be glass, but it is going to be shiny. Alright, so like I have to think of like the simple design. I could always go with the normal look. I already have the normal look, so I can just post that in the community tab, as well as making a video on it. But keep in mind, both of these buildings are going to be covered in like vines and stuff because everyone is going to die. So anyways, the stream doesn't crash. Yeah, hopefully not. I don't have too much time left, so even if it doesn't crash, it still might be over pretty soon, but not quite yet. Fruitiger Arrow is my comfort of life. Internet should take that modern UI and bring XP and 7 back. Yeah, Windows 7 was the best operating system, in my humble opinion. Right, let me do that and change it to this. Boom. And that's looking good. Fruit. Bigger. Oh well. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Let's see. See, do I want like that on it? Oh, that's fine. And so we're gonna do this. Alright, so we're gonna make this like kind of a blue. I was gonna make it deep blue, but not quite. We want like only bright colors in this. Alright, so that worked. Then I could add like some whiteness to it. Yeah, let's just add the whiteness now. Alright, so let's increase that to 7. This is around like the way I shine the character's eyes whenever I draw them. So we're gonna do that. But since it's a window, let's also do a little on this side too. And that should be pretty good. It's nothing too complex, but it should be fine. Into an aquarium. That's for fruitiger aero drains. Yeah, I've been to one. I haven't been to one in quite some time, but it was a wonderful time, the time that I did go. Seeing all the fish and the sharks and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that... Oh, my throat is starting to hurt me. Excuse me. But yeah, all of that was like optimism for the future. Fruitiger arrow. And since this is Fruitiger arrow, I don't think I need to have what do they call it? Symmetry for this one. I know the other one isn't like perfectly symmetric, but it's like gonna be significantly more symmetric than this one. Alright, so that's good like that. Gonna have this. I feel like I gave the other one not enough too many windows for what I'm going for. It should be fine. So we're gonna have 4 windows, much bigger windows, like that. Alright, so that's good. Now let's go ahead and do a 10. Alright, so let's do that. Decrease to about 4, should be fine. Alright, so let's do that here, this here. That to about here, that's good. Do the same with that. Then, like, the show that I'm planning is gonna be set like 1 year after the apocalypse. So like there's gonna be a whole bunch of plant growths on everything. So it's not exactly gonna be about how the houses look now, but how they're gonna look decayed and stuff. And so let's see. Alright, I feel like that's a tad too close for a window. So I'm gonna actually have it be like over along the horizon. So we're gonna do that and this. And the window part's gonna go all the way up to here. The F. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I decided to only have Outer Wilds music than the other thing here. So I think this one is music by Stereo Nati, in case you're curious. Right, so that's good. But also, don't forget to like the stream, because that is helpful to the channel. Anyways, let me go ahead and erase this. And cut. And so that's good like that. That's good like that. Like, I was thinking about also having like aquatic designs. So, like, for example, instead of this gives mushroom vibes, does it not? Looks like Mario. That's what I'm saying. So, like, maybe a mushroom would be good, but I'm thinking like maybe I can make it look like a fish. And so I'm gonna keep on continuing with this one and then make like a third Rudiger arrow if I have the time. So we're gonna keep that one closed. But yeah, it does look like that. So I'm thinking about like making it look kind of like a fish. Alright, I'm gonna undo that. Just make this nice and big. But yeah, I don't have too much time left, so I'm going to keep it going for as long as possible. Alright, so I'm gonna do that with a little bit of this. Just a little bit here. And there's usually more to it when drawing glass, but I think it's fine like this. So I'm here to eat dinner. What's up, Maddie? Too? Welcome to the stream. Fourth, welcome, Maddie. I just say wolf. Well, anyways. But yeah, I feel like there would be like something down there. Not too sure why it said wolf, but I guess that's that, I guess. Alright, so let's see. I'm drawing like various houses. Let me show you what I have for the first house that I did. And so let me get rid of that, get rid of the door. And here's the first house. Ba-bam! Now that looks good, don't it? Got a nice futuristic looking home right here. And I didn't do all of it on stream. I was planning on, I did record the making of the first part because it's going to be a time lapse that I'm going to have to the channel. But as of right now, I'm recording it as well. So let's get this out and this out. And there we go. Alright, so invasion. I'm glad I caught the life before bed since I got school tomorrow. Yeah, that's cool. I am doing pretty fine right now. I might have some donuts later. Because I hear that they're bringing back like these very delicious donuts. So, like at a certain establishment, and I want to eat some of them. How's school, Maddie? Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing, Galactic. Like, did they get like the air conditioner working? I remember that was broken. Right, so let's actually have a nice eclipse going on right here. Make this to 4s. This is actually going to be wider than the other door. Right, so we're going to go about it like so. Like Rudiger Arrow is basically like an aesthetic of convenience in a positive future. So this door is going to have a doorknob rather than the other one not having one. Alright, so okay, just so done with it. And no, the damn tin is still broken. We gotta use fans. Then I actually remember that us having to use that in one of my schools. But luckily, I think it wasn't that hot though. Like it is hot as heck nowadays. And I can only imagine how cold it used to be like back in the 80s and 90s. Excuse me, because I hear like the stages of global warming really went into full effect like at around, I want to say like 2004 or something. I'm not certain, but that's what I heard. And so let's actually get another 10 here, another eclipse. And I think I'm gonna have like a watercolor going all out and about with this one, because I think that could be cool. So we're gonna have that there, this here, and that's good. Then cutting right here. Yep, that right there. Alright, so gotta wait till 2026. This fan I remember in primary school has AC. Let's see. It used to still be a 10, but I don't know if they would allow it now. I think like you can get like some kind of special test. I think they called it a GED. Like I said, I'm not certain about this. I only heard about it in a couple shows, so I'm not even sure if it's real. But like they have this special test called a GED, and if you like fit the qualifications for it, you can just like take it, and you're automatically considered like a high school level graduate in the eyes of the state. So like you in theory wouldn't even have to continue with the school. So that could be interesting. I don't know if it's accurate though. I'm just saying. It could be. Alright, so let's see. Let's go ahead and make this one slightly more blue. That could work. I never had ED, so I have knowledge behind. Oh, that's a shame, Galactic. But hey, it is what it is. No worries. Right, so let's actually make this one a tad darker. And let's see. What's a fun way to open the door? Let's have it be a sliding door. And so let's do that. Let's see, can they still open that? It's a little too thick for them. So let's make it by trays and do it around yay high. We're gonna make it look like thick. And so we're gonna do that. This. And so we're gonna do this. That. Right. There's a little fish for folks to grab onto. Sure can be lazy, not educated. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've drawn a bit today in my own free time at school, in my sketchbook I bring to school. I've been drawing a lot of Pokemon. That's cool. I remember in school, like whenever I was done with my schoolwork or my homework, I usually just went ahead and started drawing in class, because I always brought like some extra paper with me just for such an occasion. I never bought a whole book because the kids in my school were horrible. So I just went ahead and did some paper, and then I just copied it down later in the book. I made a new character in my post. It's my character kids. Oh, your character is pregnant, Galactic. Okay. So here we are. Alright, let's actually have like some kind of watercolor to go along with it. So we're gonna do this here. Oh, that's a pretty good color for it. So we're gonna go with that. Along with this. Let's see how that looks. No. Now let's just have the repeat texture. And repeat reflected. Alright, let's have that go kind of like this. I think that could work. Alright, let's see. Oh no, my character is not pregnant. It's a wife. Oh, okay. Alright, my school was pretty chill. I have a few new OCs in that sketchbook and a lot of manicure drawings. That's cool. Did you get caught cheating? I never cheated. I was good at school back then, and that was that. I was perfect. Alright, so let's see. Let's actually get the colors here, maybe inverted for this one. Alright, so let's do that. And let's have it be only down here. Alright, so we're gonna do that. Let's actually change the color of the top one a little bit, just to differentiate. So I'm gonna do that. This one, let's do this. So something kind of like that could work. I never cheated either. Me neither. Okay. Alright, so let's see. I don't think there's anything in the paintbrush that can simulate like lines being drawn. So I have to do that manually. Alright, so we're gonna do that. Let's increase that to about 5. Not quite what I was going for. And 69. Alright, so we're gonna do this. This. It's not quite good. It's not quite what I'm going for. Maybe distortion could do a 10. The heck? Why did it consider that? Oh, that could be useful. A bulge going all about. Alright. Well, I've never seen that before, so we're gonna get rid of that. Let's see. Can the oil painting work? So I'm gonna decrease the shadow detail. Not even seeing the difference. Right. I've been working pretty hard at school, and I think I'm at the point that I'm ready to just graduate. Yeah. Wow. So long for it to look so much worse. It does look interesting, though. Did you guys like how it looked before or after? I love the bubble lighthouse. I'm glad you like it, Galactic. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think this is... you know, yeah, I love that drawing. Thanks. Alright. Well, I'm just gonna keep it like that. That part kind of reminds me of the Powerpuff Girls. Gonna see about blurring this one a bit more. But you know what? That worked. I think this house is officially finished, almost. I wanted to have like some little brush strokes that was going about, but there's a specific way of doing it. I just can't. I don't know it. Like, I'm sure there's like an extension for it or something where I can just make the stuff here. Like, let's use this part for example. So let's do that. Go to artistic and see about making like a pencil sketch or something. See, oh, sketches there. Splatter, the F. Oh, what the heck? Oh, that actually works for the artist style. There's a style that I heard about where it just splatters everything. It could be interesting, but not really what I'm going for this one. Could be interesting though, now that I know the splatter effect is there. Because there's an art style that like later on in the years looks similar to this. Right. Well, anyways, let me cancel that. And let's just leave it as is. I think that's fine. Will be 21 when I graduate. Alright. Reason I quit school at 18 is because of stubborn teachers. UPT has a punk version, and it's nostalgia for many fans called the Power Punk Girls. Alright. Sounds like it could be interesting. Alright, so personally, I like the first one more. The first house that I did earlier. But this one's is a pretty good one too. Alright, so let's actually do some fish right here. So we're gonna do that. Let's just do fish like that. And I'm not gonna do outlines for these fish. So we're just gonna have that. Do this. And let's get white for that. And just do some outlines. So let's do a fin right here. And now let's just copy like a whole bunch of those for right here. So let's also have a different tin here. So let's go with Oh, why not? To continue to find the Nemo, then let's just do this. You guys remember when these fish used to be everywhere on like different bars of soap? Those were the days. So we're gonna do that. Gonna do this. Gonna do that. So let's make this black. And let's just add like one bit right here. Alright, so we got that. Honestly, thought I would have way less time on this. So just 2 should be fine. Just one more right here. Then let's have this color look a little bit darker. And let's just have like a bunch of fish right here. So let's make the exact same color and do that. 2000s have 3 aesthetics, Y2K, early 2000s. Fruitiger Arrow is one of them, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna have just basically this. These are gonna be like other fish. You basically use that other one there as the door handle. Arrow mid to late 2000s. Yeah, so that door is pretty good. Let's also add like people. See, how big is it? So about right here should be good. Fruitiger Metro. That little Splatterton would be pretty good for Fruitiger Metro. Don't think I'm gonna make a house in that style though. But maybe. Excuse me. It's like, so there's the aesthetics of that door. Right on there. So that'll be like the first floor of the house along with second floor. These are all like 2-story homes right here. Alright, so like if you can choose, which one would you rather live in? This house or this other one here? Oh, this other one here. I would live in it like this if it had like this door that still had a doorknob. Even though my favorite color is blue, the other one is a bit too loud for me. Visually loud. So since it appears I have the time, I'm actually going to make the third one, which is a different attempt at the Fruitiger Arrow. Ow, my leg. So we're gonna name this figure home too. This to the top and move that away. Alright, so here is my plans for it. I should just draw it like different from the get-go, but I'm not gonna do all that. Alright, so gonna have the house go all the way down to here. So let's actually just move the secondary door over to here. I live in the cuboid house. An aquarium for my sister. Yeah, I'm glad we agree with that. I could just start a different one. Yeah, let's just do that. So for the get home, you've been fine. Let's get rid of this one and just start from scratch. Make sure this one's fine. And yes, it is. Alright, so first things first, let's go to 4s. So we're gonna do this. Because Rudiger era was all about the ocean, but it also had like a whole buttload of turtles everywhere. So we're gonna have like this weird looking house and just dial it up to 11. So it kind of being like this and like this. So let's see. So we got one flipper here, another flipper there. I think that's fine. Let's see. Alright, so yeah, that's fine like that. Alright, so we're gonna do this. Let's also have this going out and about here. So I'll need like a door here. Let's actually increase the height of that door. It's just gonna have like some stepping ladders for it to get there. So let's move it over to here, because why not? Alright, so that works. If you played a flash game called Paint World made by Ukrainian, the game is a hell of an aesthetic. I have not played that. I haven't played a Flash game in quite some time, actually. Ever since they cancelled Flash. I think there's some places that have preserved Flash games for all to enjoy. And those games, like I know, like let's see, what was it called? Let's see. That place was Newgrounds. That's it. Newgrounds was a part of that collection to help games be preserved. Alright, so we got something that's basically the rough outline of a door. Let's make it slightly taller. Alright, perfect. Let's get rid of the door. Alright, so let's actually leave that there for right now and get back to it. Alright, so that would be like the main floor right there. This one would be like the extra floors. Like from the bottom floor, you can access this like little room here. Now, if all time, I feel like there had to have been someone who built a house kind of like this, with a turtle just be in the house. This is weird. Type paint weird. It's just a whole resulted in some random language. That's weird. If you type in just the letter period, the punctuation period, then all kinds of random videos pop up. It's weird. It used to be all kinds of crazy videos like beheadings popped up when you do that, but it doesn't do so anymore. See, did the Fruitiger Arrow aesthetic have like flowers in it and stuff? I think it did, but I'm not certain. Okay. Let's see. Well, this one's gonna have it. Because I don't think bugs would match with it. I was gonna have like a big insect crawling out of it. And I don't think that would work very well. Alright, so we got that. Let's just have like the proper doors here. Proper steps, I mean. So we're gonna have that, this, that here, this here, this here, this here. Alright, let's go to tools actually. I think it's for kids that smashed keyboard. And my keyboard is broken as well. And so we got this here. So we got that here, this back here. Alright, that's good. This is good. Basically, they walk through the fin of that to get inside. This is like Fruitiger Arrow option 2. You watch Turtle's Tail Sammy Adventures. I recommend if you haven't. I have not. Would be interesting though. So let's actually increase this to trays. So that's good like that. I really like the home from this one, so I think I'm just gonna copy it and move it over to here. Did not grab all of it, but that's fine. Oh, that could be a wave, a water wave. Perfect. Alright, so I didn't see it because I was picturing it on a turtle instead of it not making much sense. So being interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and make this into trees, I think. So that should be good. Right, let's have this be here, and then one last one right here. What a door. This one's going to be a sliding door as well. And let's increase this to about 40 and erase. First things first, let's get rid of that. There we go. So let's make this white. Let's go to 4s. Do that. It's looking more like fire than water, but that's fine. I think a gradient will be in order here, but painting turtle cell lead to deformation on the cell. It's equivalent to painting your bone inside. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know it about. Well, actually, I did, but I know it mostly about like crabs. So crabs and turtles have like similar cells, so I figured it would probably apply to them too, but I never heard it outright. But I do know it about like crabs, like hermit crabs and stuff. Alright, so let me go ahead and do that. Let's actually have like a little gradient for it here. Let's erase a bunch of this. That should be good. And let's change it to that. Alright, go to trees once more. Don't feel like that happening again, so I'm gonna do this. That and that. Alright, so that's fine. Should be able to get through with that. Let's do that right there. There's a slight outline here. Let's erase that. And erase that. There we go. Turtle or crabs don't even apply makeup on their skeleton. Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. I was gonna make it a different, it's a blur in texture, but that works actually in a pretty neat way. All right. Well, that works like that. All right, so we got that. Let's also copy the windows from the other place. Views in a row. It was 5 earlier, like just a few seconds ago. It was 5 for most of the stream, actually. So let's see. Let's increase that and copy it down to here. Increase that. Oop, here we go. So that's fine. Toy turtle with 2 heads that make pinball. Alright. It's 5 again. Makes noise as I succeed. Alright. So let me go ahead and put this here. And in spite of this one being a turtle, this one feels more logical to me than the other Rudiger era one. Alright. Then again, I could just make it a normal house. Ain't nothing wrong with normal houses. Alright, so let's just make a whole brand new texture here. So doesn't need to be that big. 1 and 1 should be fine. So we're gonna go with a light brown. Alright. I'm gonna go with this. These textures, they usually connect with each other when they're on turtles, but I'm not doing all that. So we're gonna do this. Still worked out. So let's make those big. So we got that. There's a black turtle. If lightsabers exist, can it be awesome to own? Yeah, I'm sure it could. But like that would be so easy to break into places. You could just cut a hole into anything. Excuse me. Plus, like, if you make a mistake when swinging that tin, it's just gonna cut off your whole arm. And so we got this. Let's go ahead and move this to make it dark on the inside. I was gonna make it red, but that would probably be a bit of a dark joke. So we're gonna make this slightly pink, so this is kind of like exposed bone. So we're gonna do that and make this a little bit more pink. And there we go. So anyways. Cut through. Take a metal, so it's gotta be very hot. Yep. Alright, so I think this is basically done. And I basically finished it on stream, so that's pretty good. Actually, practically finished the stream. That's a first. Could add like shadows and stuff, but this is just a little test drawing to see if it works, and it seems to. Still think my first one was my favorite one, but this is a pretty good second. This has like extra layers because instead of it being like a happy turtle in the ocean, it's a beat storm. Basically showing like, hey, we may be into a positive future, but it's not as positive as you think. Because we got a beat turtle here waiting for you. And you're gonna live in it. Alright, so I think that's interesting. So let's actually have this real quick. It's a satellite dish. Alright, so that's good. I think I better save the textures in case I want them another time. And other than that, I think we're basically done here. My throat is hurting me. So I'm gonna be ending it now. So if you enjoyed this, press the like button. Like, do it right now. Subscribe, because I do these randomly. And until next time, this is Invasion Animation signing out. Let's actually get like Caleb here to be right next to the door. So here he is right here with that one. Let's look at the other one here. And yeah, his blue backpack matches like with that too. And let's get the third one out. The third one, he doesn't really match aesthetically, but I think it works. I suppose I could do the vines, but I'm tired already, so we're not going to do all of that. Alright, so, till next time, this is Invasion Animations signing out. I'm out of here. I know I already said the outro, but I just had an idea for something, so I'm just gonna do it quickly. Not even gonna do the outline. Actually, that's a lie. I am gonna do the outline. That will be the part that I do, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Gonna have the line fill in there, this here. And it's not gonna be windows, it's gonna be fake windows. We're gonna have this here. Just so like it's like the guy is getting wet and stuff. Like I know I said I was gonna stop, and I am. I just wanted to show y'all this idea here. Because it fits like that aesthetic a lot, if I do say so myself. So we're just gonna do that. Alright, so now I don't like it. Alright, well, that's that. I'll do these, but on another layer. Alright, so anyways, well, that's that basically. So, till next time. Hey, like I say, these ideas, they just pop up, so you just gotta do them. Alright.